Hi everyone, it's Mark here from Not Defining. I hope you're well. Today I really want to talk about what the coming out of Lil Naz X means for the bisexual community. And for those of you who don't know, Lil Naz X is an American musician, artist, and recently he came out as bisexual. The first thing to say about this and why I'm talking about this is that when somebody comes out as bi, particularly if they're in the public eye, it matters to our community. Why does it matter? Why are we talking about it? Well, so often we just don't have many visible bi role models. I mean, if you think about the media, if you think about theatre, books, stories, literature, politics, there are so few visible bi figures in the world. And so when somebody comes out in such a public way, someone so famous as Lil Naz X, it really, really matters. So the bi community has gone crazy. And I wanted to say a little bit about how he came out, because I think it's really important for understanding how we are kind of seen as a community. The first thing, though, I want to say about Lil Naz X in general is that he is one of the kind of artists at the moment that we've seen in recent years really doing an amazing thing for the LGBT community as a whole. I feel like there are quite a few artists at the moment, male artists, a lot of black male queer artists actually, who are actually expressing their queerness in their music and in their music videos. I think before, there's always been queer artists because we're the most creative people in the world. But I think the difference between before and kind of in the last few years, which is really nice, is that we are seeing, for example, queer men actually singing about being in love with men or getting with men, right? Whereas before it was either kind of ambiguous or they actually spoke about women, even though, they might have been gay and everybody knew it. So it was always that kind of gender reference, which was a bit weird. It's like you couldn't sing about same gender attraction. Now we are actually seeing that. And for me to see that in the public eye is fantastic. The other thing is, he's got these videos, and if you haven't watched them, I mean, go check them out. He's got kind of, the hot guys kind of dancing around behind him. They're very kind of like sensual and sexual in parts. And he's really just celebrating his queer sexuality in an unapologetic way. And to see queer artists, particularly black queer men, doing that and receiving so much success for it is absolutely phenomenal. So I am a big fan as it is. Now, he originally came out as gay, and that was great. But recently he came out, and here's what he said. By the way, if you're new to this channel and you want to know more about bisexuality, then come and click subscribe. Join us on Patreon, where you can come and have group sessions with other bi people. You can get coaching from me, or if you'd like to book a private session with me, then the links are all down in the description. But here's how he came out, okay, because this is important. He said, and I can't really do this in my British accent, but I'll try. Would y'all be mad, okay, would y'all be mad if I was a little bit bisexual? Okay, that's what he put out there. Would you all be mad if I was a little bit bisexual? Let's break this down, because it's so revealing about the way that we kind of have to be in society. So let's take the first bit. Would y'all be mad? What he's saying there is, I'm kind of scared, right? So he's kind of predicting or kind of worrying that there's going to be some kind of negative reaction. People are going to be angry. Now, why would people be angry if somebody came out as bi? I mean, you're just expressing who you are. A lot of the time, people will kind of treat bi people as like either we're kidding ourselves or either we're kind of like not quite queer enough, or we're kind of like halfway to the other side of being straight, or we're kind of like less out there. We've got some kind of privilege and we've got like one foot in and one foot out. So when somebody comes out as gay and then comes out as bi, it's almost as if you're saying, well, I was part of the community, but now I'm kind of rolling back. And for a marginalized community, you know, there are those within the community who will think that you're kind of like stepping back. Yeah, you're kind of betraying the queer community by kind of taking yourself out of it a bit. This is a common misconception of bi people, and it really, really damages our community because this is the idea that we're kind of half gay and half straight. We're not half gay and half straight, okay? We are 100% LGBT, we are 100% queer, we are 100% bi, okay? Bisexuality is an identity in and of itself, okay? It is not halfway to being gay, it's not halfway to being straight, it's not some middle ground, it's not some halfway house for people who don't really know what they are, okay? Being bi is a natural, scientific, very, very relevant, valid, common way to be. In fact, and I rant about this all the time, in fact, there are more bi people than there are gay people. Okay, so it's more common for a human being to be bi than it is to be specifically, exclusively gay. But because of the kind of dominance of gay culture in the LGBT space, bi people are often seen as like, oh, you know, you're not really part of us. So it's this gay-centric notion, and I think that was really what was coming through there. He was like, oh, is it okay? Oh, are you going to hate me? Now, the next part of what he said is also relevant as well. So he said, would you be mad if I was a little bit bisexual? Now, obviously, it's kind of the way he speaks. So I think, you know, I think he's saying it in just his personal style. But I think underneath the way he said it is this idea that you can be a little bit bisexual. So he's saying, well, I don't want to step away from the community, but so I'm only a little bit bi, right? I don't know what he means by a little bit bi, but presumably he means that he is a bi person who is kind of homocentric or has the proportion of his attachment to the same gender, but he's perhaps hetero-curious or something closer to the homo-oriented side. Now, there are lots of people who are closer to the homo-oriented side. There are so many bi people who have like more attraction to the same gender and just a little bit of attraction to another gender. That's absolutely 100% valid bi identity. Okay, so it doesn't mean that you're a little bit bi, you are 100% bi, but you know, you may be kind of a little bit on the hetero-oriented spectrum. I guess it's a bit clunky to say that, but I think that's what he meant. I hope that that's what he meant, rather than feeling like I have to pretend that I'm just a little bit to the hetero side because, you know, otherwise people will hate me. This is something that we do a lot of the time. We come out, but we kind of do like a coming out light. A lot of bi people do this, and we'll kind of half come out, or we'll be like, oh, I'm straight or I'm gay, but oh, sometimes I have a little bit here and a little bit there. This is fine and it's totally valid, but it's such a shame that we have to kind of have this fearful approach to coming out, you know? It would be so fantastic if we could just say, hey, this is me, and what about it? The fact that we actually have to come out at all is also a really relevant point. And I'm kind of sad that in 2023, we have public figures kind of having to declare their sexuality. We've become very normalized to this process of coming out, whatever our identity. But the fact that LGBT people like us, we have to somehow proclaim it like it's anybody's business. Like, who is really invested in like who or what genders Lil Naz X is connected to or feels attraction to? Like, that's really something private. And if he is going to be open about it, I would just so hope that he would feel like he could just say it without fear. But I think the fact that he said it like that really shows that still we have a long way to go, particularly for bisexual men. The final thing I'll say is we, the bisexual community, I love how I'm like speaking on behalf of the bi community, but me as a bi person and knowing lots of other bi people, I would say that we are so happy. I'm so proud of Lil Naz X for coming out, for speaking your truth. Like, you are welcome in our community. We need all the representation that we can get. You are a fabulous artist. You're a fabulous role model. You're an amazing queer person. You are queer enough. You are... I'm speaking as if he's like watching. Lil Naz X, if you're watching this, you know, hi, I love you. He's not going to watch this. Maybe he will. Anyway, it's a great thing. So if you haven't checked him out, go give him some love, because we want to really support our bi celebrities and our public figures. That's it. I just wanted to express my view on that. What do you think? Do you have opinions on it? How did you feel when you saw him coming out, and how did you kind of feel about the way that he did it? Anyway, so thanks for listening. If you would like to know more about bisexual men, check out this video and this playlist, because there's loads of information there, and I will speak to you again very soon. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.